Hello everyone. So you can probably tell by the sound of my voice I'm a little bit discontent, to put it mildly. So we had a patch that supposedly fixed, group play for Temple. When you are playing with other players, your Temple isn't going to be force closing on you. Yeah, I mean, so thing is, theoretically, they were correct, right? It doesn't ever close, as far as I can tell. But practically it still does. Let me go over this, right? This is going to be a little bit of ranting and maybe rambling, but maybe I can help one or two of you. So okay, so what happened was, guys, after the fix yesterday, so the temple isn't going to force close on you, right? I thought I could get some players with me. Normally, guys, the only safe way to play the temple is when you are in a group. I thought it was. Let me correct that. The only safe way to play the temple was, as far as I thought, you have to have your luck medallions before you enter. You lock your main chain, and if you have a secondary chain, you lock your secondary chain, and then you go in. Then you grab whatever you can, and then before you enter the next one, you lock it again and go again. Right? That's the thing. So that's not the thing. So let me just demonstrate my situation to you. As you can see, my temple is actually open right now. I have a close temple button here, and as you can see, I cannot just enter it. So let me tell you what happened here. If you are in a similar situation, this could save you. I mean, I wouldn't say avoid party play altogether, but you have to be very careful if you are playing with people. And as you know, the temple is pretty profitable when you play it in a group. So let me tell you what happened. So I did get a friend to play with me, right? We entered. There was a nice profitable, thingy, right? I just stepped out to buy it, and when I came back, it was like this, right? I couldn't get back in. And I'm not telling you what happened to me right now, right? This is the previous experience, right? And if you consider the patch is pretty recent, this is a little bit awful, right? So it was like this, right? I panicked pretty hard. I mean, I did lock everything. I did lock my main chain, but I couldn't lock my secondary chain before going in, and that would mean I was going to lose multiple rooms from my secondary chain, right? I did panic a little. I tried relogging, new instance, etc. Reset the computer, didn't work. So I thought my friend, step outside. He stepped outside. I still couldn't get back in. Then I reset the computer again, right? I kicked him from the group, right? Reset the computer again, and finally I was able to get in, right? So as long as he wasn't in there, I could then get in, right? And the funny thing is, then I could invite him and he could get in too. So this just served as a major waste of time, but I wasn't screwed, right? I didn't lose anything from my temple. We did the run, then we got our medallions. I locked. I was able to get 3 medallions. This is important. That's why I'm telling you this. So I got 3 medallions, 3 luck medallions, and with one of them, I was able to lock my, secondary chain, and I had 2 left over, right? That's very important because the next run, this happened. So I did lock my main and secondary chains before going in. As you can see, main chain is locked, secondary chain is locked, and we went in. And the thing is, the temple was feeling a little bit off, right? So I like to play with free for all, right? So I generally try to get people that I trust, and so I am generally not in fear of getting robbed. So some of the loot was getting grayed out for me, right? And I don't like that. I mean, because I do have free for all. I mean, I do have free for all just for that, right? I don't want to see any grayed out loot because, that makes me waste time. I mean, there is a divine that drops in front of me. It's grayed out. I cannot grab it, right? I have to wait for it, for the allocation to wear off, etc., right? But that was the least of my worries because we moved on a little, and I opened my map curiously, and this medallions thingy here, right? As you can see, it wasn't even like this. It didn't exist, right? I mean, maybe you do not believe me, but guys, this was very real. So it was not minimized. It didn't exist whatsoever. So the game treated me as if I did not have any medallions whatsoever, right? Not 0 out of 6, by the way. This interface didn't exist, right? And what's more alarming was I couldn't click on the buildings. You know, when you do a room, some rooms allow you, they have some interactables inside, right? So, for example, you have a tier 3 smithy or, tier 1 smithy. You click on the forge and it drops you something, right? Based on the tier. So I was trying to get some wall infuser from this room, right? And I couldn't. And, as far as I know, the other guys can't click on them either. So I'm like, it's not like the case of, they clicked on it, right? It has to be me and I can't click on it, right? And my worries reached a very high limit when we arrived at this alchemy lab, because the thing with the alchemy labs is you have to kill all the monsters inside, then you have to click on the boss in the middle, and you have to activate the boss, and you cannot progress before killing the boss, right? So we were at a dead end here, and alchemy labs are a little bit weird. Sometimes some of the monsters associated with this room can penetrate into this room, and the door wouldn't open. So sometimes you get stuck in alchemy labs, but few relogs, well-placed spells, etc., you can generate pass. And I was lying to myself, saying, maybe it's that, right? We didn't get screwed, but I was, getting slowly. I was slowly getting certain that I was screwed. And finally, guys, in here or something, so we gave it as a bad job, right? We started on the main chain, and in here, a medallion dropped, right? And I could see the medallion on the map, but I couldn't see the medallion, right? I click on the, the layers, my loot filter is off, right? All the, consoling lies that one tells themselves. And yeah, just couldn't get any medallions, right? And then we progressed all the way here. And as you can imagine, we have another alchemy lab here. And at this point, we just get stuck because I couldn't click on the building. So, the point was that there were 4 or 5 medallions on the ground, which I couldn't click or interact with, right? And I was stuck. And guys, if you have built a proper temple, you know this, right? The divines are the least of your worries, right? I'm wasting like 50 divine. No big deal whatsoever, right? I don't care. What I care is I cannot get medallions. And as you can see, I have 0 protection medallions left. And it doesn't let me in. Supposedly it's open, right? Because I can click close temple here. So it's open right now, right? And there are medallions inside that I can take. And now I know that I can take them because the medallions are available to me here. So it did majorly screw me. So thing is, because I was paranoid and locked the temple before entering, I'm not going to lose any rooms here. But the thing is, guys, I will not have any spares. So I have to click the close temple here. And when I do, I'm not going to lose anything except for this generator. But the next one, I'm going to start with 0 protection medallions. So I have to get 2. I have to leave. Then I have to protect these, or I'm going to lose stuff, right? And when you can get very, very, very unlucky, you can get just 1. That means I'm going to lose like 7 rooms from my secondary chain. And this is, I would say absolutely unacceptable, right? The season has been released about 2 months ago, right? I believe it was the 12th of December or something. So it was released about 2 months ago. And, we are getting this kind of crap. And, aside from the rambling and ranting, let me try to offer you a solution. As far as I can tell, this is happening because the Wall Ruins was my friend's instance. So the game attributed being the main guy to him, but the temple was mine. So that means I'm the main guy, and I'm the only one that gets to interact with the, medallions and, room interactables. But, there forms a paradox there. The Wall Ruins is his, and he's the main guy, but I'm supposed to be on I'm supposed to be the one that interacts, right? Did mumble there a little bit. Stutter rather. And finally, guys, so what does GGG do as a solution? Obviously, no one can do anything, right? That's the obvious solution, right? To screw us over. So he can't do it. I can't do it either. I cannot grab any medallions, right? I'm wasting half of my temple, which is, as I said, the least of my worries, right? I don't care about the odd divines, but yeah, and also it's a very ruined experience, right? Also very frustrating, right? So now next run I'm going to be in danger of losing my temple. And guys, how am I going to party play from this point on? Right? It's very profitable, but how would I dare? So, let me stop the rambling and go back to the solution. When you are playing with a friend, whoever's temple it is, if it's your temple, you do the wall ruins yourself. And the best way to guarantee this, I would say, is probably you go here, you control click on the waypoint. Oops, what did I do? Oh, so hold up. Let me go to the hideout first. Okay, control click the waypoint. Okay, control click the wall ruins. Okay, so as you can see, when you control click on the waypoint, you can do, this is the one that's been active, or I can just do this one, new one. So the wall ruins is now mine, right? And my friend will come here, and I will open my temple, and then it should be safe, right? Or if your friend is the one, your friend is going to do the same. You will have to be going to their wall ruins. So the thing is, first run, as I told you, was not very smooth, but the first one was working as intended, right? So I opened the temple, we ran it, then we left, but I guess when we were leaving, he stepped out first or something. I just don't know what happened, but apparently the game attributed the wall ruins to them, right? So I'm guessing the way that you be safe is, you go to your wall ruins, you invite your friend, they come to you, you open your temple, you run, right? Or vice versa if your friend is the owner. And then you leave, and then you create a new wall ruins just in case. You go there and your friends come to you, and then you open again. Yeah, but this is very awful, right? I mean, just attribute the wall ruins to the person that opens the temple, because that's the person that's getting screwed. So for example, guys, my friend, they waste a little bit of time, right? That's what happened to them. I was able to not get any medallions from my temple, which is risking my temple. And if you have built a proper temple, you will know if I lose these rooms, that's gonna be like 30-40 hours of work, I think, because in the main chain you do text, right? And I also will have to let all the side chain die. Yeah, so yeah, they still have a long way to go. This is very frustrating. So the fait accompli closing was something, but this is also something. So guys, it's basically still there, right? So my temple is open, yeah, open in air quotes. I can't go in. I mean, what good does it do to me when it's theoretically open, but I can't go in? It's like, Schrodinger's temple. I can't get in. It's useless. There are the medallions lying over there, and I can't grab them. I have to close the temple, yeah. So that's about it, guys. I'm sorry if I, ranted a little bit too much, but, this was very frustrating to me. And also, the main goal was to not just rant, and obviously to save you guys from this if it ever happens to you, and hopefully it never happens to you, right? So if you find this video, and hopefully you can dodge this, be very careful with party playing. But I can tell you it works properly in solo, right? I have played a lot of solo when I was building my temple, because I lost a lot of rooms to bugs in group play. So I went full solo for maybe 100 rounds, and it was working properly when it's solo, but obviously it's not as profitable. I'm gonna do a video on that, but the average yield for me is around 75 to 80 divines when playing solo. And when I get a leecher in, just a leecher, not even a rarity bot, it goes up to like 140s or so. Even if I tip the leecher like 10 divine, and they get a ton of loot as well, both parties profit. So yeah, it's pretty useful. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how people have been farming this place, in big groups, en masse. Takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of luck, I'm guessing, because, I just get one person and I get 2 rounds, and, it goes all to hell. Yeah. So I'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.